Hey guys, I'm here with Caleb Clark, the co-founder and chief partnership officer at Hook+Ladder Digital. Caleb has been a client of ours for about the last 9 months now. Caleb, good to have you here today.
Good to be here. Thanks, Isaac.
Great. So, just a couple things. If you could first just introduce yourself, who you are, and what you guys do over at Hook+Ladder.
So, as you mentioned, co-founder, chief partnership officer at Hook+Ladder. My job is to bring in net new deals, and what we do at Hook+Ladder is we solve capacity and expertise constraints for marketing leaders and marketing departments that have an underperforming digital marketing system that is not generating meaningful business growth and results. So what we do is we develop and deploy teams of between 4 to 7 digital marketing experts that become an ingrained extension of the marketing department. And we have a very low client to team ratio so that we can fulfill our promise of actually being an extension of the team as compared to just an outsourced agency or something like that. So long-term relationships, quarterback the entire digital marketing strategy and execution, and become a part of the team.
Awesome. So, when we were talking early on, obviously you decided to work with us because we're helping you solve a problem. Could you just share a little bit more about some of the issues that you had or you were facing when you started working with the Lever Growth team?
Yeah, the biggest problem is our top of funnel consistency. So not necessarily the volume, but the predictability around ratios. Like X number of people reached out to equal X. We didn't have any organization on that, any consistency, and ultimately, because we're looking for exact fits for our ideal client, we need to have strong outreach activities in place. We didn't have the time necessarily internally or the expertise in certain cases to be able to build a sophisticated, organized, well cadenced outreach system. So the immediate value that I saw was having that very developed lever added into our mix. And for lead generation, we deploy other things that are less high volume. They're referrals, podcasts that I run, different sort of community events and speaking engagements. And we can define ratios for consistency with all of those, but we're missing the always on sort of evergreen approach led by a team and group that actually knows what they're doing and keeps us out of spam filters and keeps us out of junk boxes and that kind of thing. So, it's been a great experience so far.
Great. And in terms of the results that we've brought you in the 9 months that we've worked together thus far.
Yeah, the three examples that I'll draw on here is kind of very early in our engagement. There was a client that perfectly matches our ideal client profile. She had mentioned to me after we started working together that when she saw the email, it's almost like she felt that it was written exactly for her. And she made an interesting point. She's like, I knew it was cold outreach, but I didn't care because it was written exactly for me and it was, good cadence to it. And they've become one of our best clients since. Long-term relationship, great retainer, awesome relationship and engagement. So that's one. Second one is one that hasn't converted yet, but it's created such a rich engagement of back and forth where we're really diving into what is the best solution tailored for them. And same thing in his case. He just said, that he really appreciated the message, didn't come across as a sell, and it's created a very strong pipeline candidate. Third one is one that's also in process right now, but they are even more so than the original client I talked about. Amazing match for our ideal client profile. Multi-location professional service franchise brand with multiple brands under their umbrella. And same exact thing. She's acknowledged, I knew it was cold outreach, but I didn't care, were her words. I didn't care because of what it said. And I just think that those are the results, but in the day-to-day sort of communication in Slack, very timely, Um, Great use of automation in Slack in terms of keeping everyone on board in terms of this is coming in. We need these feedback. Yeah, I think that it has definitely fulfilled my need of not having this be a burden on our team internally. So,
Awesome. Yeah, that's great to hear that prospects are feeling like we're speaking directly to them because that's such a core component
yeah,
of cold email copywriting and copywriting in general, persuasion in general.
yeah,
But wanted to transition just back into just talking about the results. So just in terms of like the meeting quality, how is that
yeah.
relative to your expectations when we started?
Yeah, it's definitely met or exceeded in that I had no expectations because it's my first foray into this.
Yeah.
I admittedly had a pre-existing belief that it was cold outreach was kind of very transactional, very, wasn't a good experience, but it's been exceeded in the sense that everyone that I get onto a call with, fit or no fit, it is the right person that I'm speaking to. It's the right type of client. It always ends up being a great conversation. And I think the biggest impact, the biggest results based impact that I've experienced so far is the achievement of what I've been trying to do, which is establish a ratio of predictability. So I'm not looking necessarily like volume is important, but what's way more important than that is the establishment of one or X number of emails turns into X number of opens, turns into X number of booked calls. Those booked calls turn into X number of deep dives and exploration of a fit. And so I think that it's the biggest result for me besides the three clients I talked about is clarity around the ratio. Because when you have ratios defined, then you have ultimate decision power as it relates to toggling um, different elements. So that's been my best result experience so far.
That's great to hear. Yeah, we really focus on continuing to push the ball forward consistently so that pipeline stays full.
Yeah,
Obviously, you spoke earlier about working with us because you just don't have to manage it and deal with it on the day to day. So I'm really pleased to hear that you're experiencing the same thing that we're trying to convey to our clients and our prospects and our audience.
yeah.
Just the last question here, just could you share a little bit more about like what was your favorite thing or what has been the best thing that you've found in working with us?
The best thing has been that stuff's not gonna go smoothly all the time. Things aren't gonna go right. Results won't be there. That's just part of the game. But I think the best experience has been the willingness to engage in conversation. The fact that I'm not meant to. I'm not. I don't feel dumb or stupid coming with a problem or a question. There's always an understanding of where I'm coming from and a uh, you know, pursuant to that, a all hands on deck sort of let's get things figured out together. It feels like the emergence of a partnership, and I think that would be a very bad experience if it if it wasn't that way. So I think that that's huge value.
Great. Well, I really appreciate your thoughts today, Caleb. Thanks for
Yeah,
sharing and appreciate your time. And we'll chat soon. Thanks a lot.
yeah, you bet. Let's keep going.
All right. Yeah, let's go.